Alright, food is very important in our lives. Hello and welcome to OE Daily. Food is an art. I love it. That art that is filled with colors and visually appealing and satisfying. Food is an art. That art that we are honored to have moments been created and stored in our brains and never forgotten in our dear hearts. I love it. Food is our fuel that keeps us going and do more on loving. Food is an art that has the language which speaks via visuals beautifully and the aroma activating our glands of happiness, fulfillment on how to love. Food is an art. I love it. A spoonful of a meal makes us travel down to the kitchen to appreciate the effort and power of the chef. Food is life. We need food to survive, we need food to have the energy to keep on moving. Food is essential for us. We need food for our daily activities. From now on, I'll be talking more on food because we need food and food is important and I love it. And I will like to talk more about it on and on. I've been talking about food, right? Okay, because it's the niche for the channel now. Okay, the reason why I'm talking about food is because food is the key. Alright, beautiful precious leaves grown on the ground, brewed in our cups, taken warm, hot or cold as beverage, enjoyed by family and friends, creating wonderful bond of love and happiness. Tea has great history and contains high content of caffeine. After water, it is the most widely consumed drink in the world. Sri Lanka is one of those countries that produce tea. India, China, and other countries around the world. It is a commodity that has good economic value over time. Interestingly, today tea is widely popular around the world. Who loves tea? Well, I do. I love it so much that I take a couple of cups a day and prefer mine very black. My tea, I prefer it black and nothing else added. For sweetening, depending on preference, sugar, honey, or other sweeteners can be added. And it can also be taken just like that to enjoy the greatness of the tea leaf the way it should. Though, too much of everything, is bad. Likewise, too much of tea intake is bad, but moderate intake is healthy for most people. Drinking too much could lead to negative side effects such as anxiety, headaches, digestive issues, and others, and disruptive sleep patterns. So tea contains tannin, a yellow or brownish substance found in plants that gives tea its color. It can also stain your teeth, so you have to be careful. To help reduce that, you have to brush your teeth or rinse your mouth after drinking your cup of tea. Tea is beyond a cup of tea. It is an experience. There is no specific way on how to make tea. There are various different ways on how you can make your own tea. For instance, the Indians make masala tea, which is simply tea with spices and milk. And then the Turkish make black tea, largely they call it siak, which is black. The Englishman, on the other hand, the breakfast tea, which is simply also black tea, with sometimes a touch of milk, more popularly around England. And the list go on and on. There are other ways that tea has variations like the green tea and white tea. The way it's been made is simple. When the tea leaves are harvested, the leaves are temporarily slightly tempered with heat to avoid them from oxidization. Immediately, they are then dried indoors, retaining the greenish color of the tea, which gives it its signature and little bitterness. The lighter color that green tea has, containing less caffeine, in simple terms, the harvested tea leaves are prevented from drying up and becoming dark or black. And you know that's the real deal. Like from China, that tea history began, they said they have a lot of other ways and other varieties of tea. There are a lot of other distinctive variation of how tea are harvested and then made, but don't want us to go into too much detail. So simply, I will just talk about tea randomly and give you an idea on how important tea is to me and other tea lovers in our lives. You know, a lot of us, when we wake up in the morning, we have a cup of tea before we start the day. How we make them can vary. You know, the power of tea is to bring people together. Just take a sip. It takes away all the sadness. Just take a sip. It is a lifestyle for some. They just take a sip. It sometimes uplifts our spirit. We just take a sip. When you are unhappy, just take a sip. When you are in need of inspiration, just take a sip. When you are lost, you find yourself by taking the sip from one way to another. The tea is a great inspiration. I will be hosting tea gathering from now on for tea lovers, and we will have tea, and more tea, and talk about ideas, then have more tea. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to have a cup of tea for more videos like this. What are you waiting for? Come on, hit that subscribe button now and you will have a cup of tea. See you next week. Peace.